Welcome back to the PiscesDeadPeople Die Weekly Podcast. We here at the PDPDW say, if you enjoy these, leave a like. Also, comment down below and leave your opinion on my opinions. And don't forget to RKO that subscribe button. Just like Randy Orton RKO'd Drew McIntyre in the middle of the ring. He is back after his loss with Jelly Roll against Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre at SummerSlam. And he's back with a vengeance. He looked excited to drop that RKO on Drew. So, what's going on? Are we going to have a Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre on SmackDown? Or is this going to go as far as being a match at Clash in Paris? I can't wait to see. I'm super excited about it. I hope you guys are too, because that's going to be a match worth seeing. Just a singles match between those two is always going to be amazing. So, with that being said, that was not in the beginning of the show, but nonetheless, it was a banger of a promo nonetheless. You know, and it wasn't even really a promo. It was Drew coming out and talking, and Randy just dropping him. So, hey, I enjoyed that. But the beginning of the show started off with Becky Lynch coming out and having just a great promo and intro herself. After what I've said is weeks of her having weak mic skills alongside Lyra Valkyria and Bayley, to see her come out and just start laying down like, oh, I'm in Ireland, this is great, and then it's like, you don't deserve this. Oh, okay, that's great, good little turn. We knew you were bad, but you turned it around real fast. I didn't see that coming, but so I was very happy to see that. But after berating the crowd long enough, Tiffany Stratton came out and had a few words to say. Basically, long story short, telling Becky that this isn't your show. You need to get out. You're not even on the right show. This is my show. So, Becky wasn't gonna back down that easily. But of course, actually, I can't even really say of course. I didn't see this coming. Nia Jax came back out, I guess, for some unfinished business. I don't remember the last time I saw her come out, aside from the women's battle royal. But yeah, no, Nia Jax came out, had some things to say about Tiffy, teamed up with Becky to try to knock Tiffy out, and then Jade Cargill comes out and helps out Tiffy. Not really necessarily for Tiffy's sake, but just to also show that she's a dominant force in all this. And the powerhouse that is Nick Aldis came out and made one hell of a main event. Becky Lynch and Nia Jax against Jade Cargill and Tiffany Stratton. The best of both worlds. Also, they both hate each other. So, hey, that's awesome. Like the teams themselves, the women within the teams hate their teammates. Like, okay, way to go, Nick Aldis. Yeah, that overall intro, 5 stars. 5 stars all the way. Like, Becky finally got, a good promo whenever one of her last promos that she had was a better promo than what she's been doing. And then this one, on top of it, was just, it was perfect. Not to mention everybody else that was involved, too, played a perfect role. 5-star intro, way to start off a night. It had me on the edge of my seat, like, okay, if this is the energy, especially the crowd, if this is the energy, then I'm ready for this show. I'm riding this wave. So, 5-star intro, transitioned into the Mellow Don't Miz versus Motor City Machine Guns match. You had Fraxium in the back trying to tell Carmelo, it's like, hey, I respect you, we respect you. Your moveset out there was great. You really handled business, but your mate, he was taking the credit. And Miz, being within earshot, was like, what do you mean? And Carmelo was like, no, I got this, and stood up for the Miz. And the Miz turned around and did the same thing again in this next match. But still, somehow, one way or another, they still won. Mellow Don't Miz still won against Motor City Machine Guns, putting them in a #1 contenders match next week against the Street Profits. Because later on in the night, the Street Profits versus the MFT. Yeah, I was that was a really good match. But can we really say that the Street Profits would have won if Jimmy and Sammy had not have come out and evened the playing field a little bit? I don't know. Street Profits are good, but their numbers ain't like the MFT. And Sammy and Jimmy, they're just jumping head first into danger, and they don't care. So, Street Profits won that match, by the way, making them also in the number one contendership match against Melo Don Miz. And look, I don't do many predictions on the actual just shows themselves, but I feel like Melo Don Miz is going to wind up getting it. I don't know. Like, I could go either way. It's entertaining nonetheless. I love the Street Profits just because they're cool as hell. Just, let's just be honest. And then on top of that, Melo Don Miz, I like their storyline, So, I think Melo Don Miz got it, though. Let's just sit back and watch and enjoy. But in between those two matches, the number one contendership matches of the night, we had Charlotte Flair versus Piper Niven. And it was a pretty good match. Overall, it was a 4.5 out of 5 stars. The Melo Don Miz match was a 4.28 out of 5 stars. And the Street Profits match was a 4.15 out of 5 stars. This was a really good SmackDown so far. Really, like, everything's over 4 stars. Nothing's bad. Even the John Cena appearance, I was very happy with the delivery between John and Logan. I was happy with the little bit of performance. The crowd was eating it up. So the promo itself got a 4.5 out of 5 stars. So, everything so far in the match, all the way up to the Street Profits and MFT match, has over a 4-star rating. The next match, if you can even call it a match, but I'm going to because this was great. You had Aleister Black, intro and all, make his way out, and then R-Truth comes up on the screen, the big screen, and it's like, hey man, sorry, I went to Dublin, Georgia instead of Dublin, Ireland, but my friend's gonna jump in and help you. All rise. And just like, oh man. And then Damian Priest, here he comes charging in like a bull and just pretty much flattens Aleister Black a little bit. They go back and forth, but ultimately that was just so good that I had to still rate it, regardless of if it wasn't actually officially a match or not. The bell didn't actually ring. I'm still giving that a 4.33 out of 5 stars. It was entertaining. It was unpredictable. I didn't see that coming. I was ready to see R-Truth and Aleister Black, but they're really holding back on that match. I don't know if they're trying to get a Priest and Black match going, Clash in Paris or further, or if they're trying to get a Truth and Black match going at a PLE or something, special event or something like that. Don't know, but they're building up this promo right. I know that the ceiling's gonna come off when these guys actually do connect. So, good match, quote unquote. But yeah, 4.33 out of 5 stars. Moving into the main event of the night, Becky Lynch, Nia Jax versus Jade Cargill and Tiffany Stratton. Great match. It was, I hate to say, the weakest rated match of the night with a 4 out of 5 stars. Just a solid 4. But overall, you saw the women at their best. The timing was off a little bit. The execution was off a little bit. You saw people kind of waiting for moves to be done to them in certain positions and stuff like that. And, I get it. You can only do your best sometimes. Sometimes it's noticeable. But, like I said, not hating. Just I noticed it. It's my own personal rating. My rating may mean nothing to most people. I'm just doing this mainly for me so I can look back and say, what matches did I consider were the best matches at the time? Or even shows. So, but regardless, each woman did a fantastic job. It was a great main event. I was very happy, and you got Jade and Tiffany both winning at the end, which, it could have gone either way, but, give the good guys the one this time around. And before that, of course, we had Randy Orton coming out and RKOing Drew McIntyre, but we talked about that a little bit earlier. But that is everything for this SmackDown. And with all of these matches and promos together, it gives this show a 4.4 out of 5 stars. Over the weekend, we're going to get Heat Wave. I'm not going to be probably participating in that, but look forward to that. I mean, eventually I'll move into NXT stuff, but I don't really watch NXT right now, so enjoy Heat Wave. And then after Heat Wave will be Monday Night Raw. And on that Monday Night Raw, we got Roman Reigns kicking it off. And don't know in any particular order or not, but we know we have a Rhea Ripley versus Roxanne Perez match. And then a Kofi Kingston versus Penta match. Because last week we had Xavier Woods versus Penta. And I wonder if it's Kofi going to lose, and then Grayson Waller's going to get a match against Penta, and then actually win, and then maybe get a little bit more credit with the New Day. I don't know. That would be kind of interesting, because I still think they accept him a little bit more now, but I think that he's still on a thread. He could do wrong, and they could ignore him again. But nonetheless, that's what we got coming up over the weekend, or after the weekend on Raw. And then next SmackDown, we have Solo Sikoa versus Sami Zayn for the U.S. title. We have Street Profits versus Melo Don't Miz for the number 1 contendership match for the WWE Tag Team Championship belts. And then we've got Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss versus the Secret Harvest for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship. So, that's already a packed, that's a PLE type matches. So, next SmackDown's going to be something else. Look forward to that. I'm going to be getting my popcorn ready. No extra matches added to Clash in Paris. Right now they got 4. I can't imagine they do more than 5. Maybe 6 might be the limit. But, as of right now, we got 4. Who knows what will happen over Raw? They still need to set up something for the women's tag team, or the women's world championship match against Stephanie McMahon. Are they going to do like a number 1 contendership type deal? They're going to do a over the top rope. They're going to do a big old 12-woman ladder match. Who knows? Right now, we only got 2 matches for Raw, and Roman Reigns kicking it off. The rest of that day could be just some kind of thrown together ultra women's match to try to get a contendership against Stephanie McMahon. Who knows? I know that I'm going to be looking forward to whatever else they decide to throw into Clash in Paris as we approach. It is next Sunday, not this upcoming Sunday, next Sunday. And then Worlds Collide on September 12th, I believe. And the only match that I think we have set for that, at least told across our main platform, SmackDown and Raw, is Dominic Mysterio versus Vikingo for the AAA Mega Championship. If I do decide to tune in and watch some regular AAA Lucha Libre, then maybe I will see other matches being set up. But as of right now, I'm packed out with what I'm doing and a full-time job, so still, nonetheless, killer show today. Looking forward to the next few shows, the build up to Clash in Paris. And if you like what I do here, leave a like down below. Also, comment down below and leave your opinion on my opinion. Who else is going to be added at Clash in Paris? What kind of match do you think they're going to do to determine a contendership against Stephanie McMahon for the Women's Championship? Who else is going to be added to the Worlds Collide matches? I mean, just leave down below anything and everything that you think is going to happen. And also, don't forget to RKO that subscribe button and clock that bell to keep up with any new episodes. Alright, I'm hopping off here, guys. Peace.